here, guys. Buffalo Bills talk. Finally, some decent Bills talk. For you local guys, I'm a fan of John Murphy. I like Steve Tasker now that he's on. Donald Jones was fucking terrible. But, um, you know, unbiased opinions. We're going to talk shit when shit's hitting the fan. We're going to be real when shit's going good. Do me a favor. Give our Facebook page a like. We're going to be spitting out a bunch of content, covering the Bills all the time because I'm fucking obsessed with them. At the end of the day, I'm a diehard Bills fan, and I love this shit. So, like the Facebook page. We got a YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. We'll be spitting stuff out all the time. We'll be covering everything this off season. Going to try to get some media passes for training camp. I have no idea how that's going to go, but you guys can roll with me. If anybody has any idea how that goes, please do me a favor and shoot me a message because I would love to be on the field and cover some shit this summer. But let's get into it. I want to start this thing and let you guys know, those guys that don't know me out there, I'm a huge fan still. After year two, I'm a huge fan still of Bean and McDermott. I think that they do a lot of things well. Have they made some screw ups? Absolutely. Okay. In general, I think that they've killed it. We'll start with Bean. Okay, he's made some crazy fucking moves. When he first came in like a wrecking ball, an absolute wrecking ball. Making trades, getting rid of Darius, getting rid of Sammy Watt, signing some free agents. You're like, oh boy, what the hell's going on here? But overall, with the turnover of the team that needed to be done, I mean, that's clear. Everybody, hindsight being 2020 here, I think everybody can agree that we needed to get a bunch of these schlubs out of here and start bringing in some new young talent who have the right personality, that are coachable. And I think that Bean has done a really good job on that. Bringing guys in like Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, those two guys right there, absolute stud finds. Yeah, they've had their ups and downs, but for the most part, as we all know, lockdown in the backfield as long as they're healthy. Huge fan of that. And getting rid of Watt, getting rid of Darius. And like I said, we've had some mistakes. Was Ronald Darby a mistake? We don't know yet. We're not sure yet. He's been injured, but he also won a fucking Super Bowl. And he played awesome in that Super Bowl. So we don't know on Darby. But it's up in the air. We'll see how much he gets paid. I mean, Sammy Watkins, going back to Sammy Watt, when he got traded, everybody's like, oh, Jesus. What a blessing. The Chiefs paid him $14 million a year. He's not going to do shit. He's going to have that one or two big game. He'll have a big game every 5 or 6 games. And other than that, below average. Below average. He can't stay healthy, and he's not consistent. $14 million a year is crazy. Crazy money. So glad we got rid of him. Same with Darius. Inconsistent, fat, slob. But, they made some good moves. Some of the bad ones, okay, it's still up in the air, obviously, but Darla Tulele, Trent Murphy, those were those guys last year. They had those big signings. Latulele, his Pro Football Focus grades was terrible. I get it. He's a run stopper. He does all the intangibles, the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, blah, 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 blah. I get that. But at the end of the day, he had an underwhelming season, stats-wise. And stats talk. That's just how it goes. When you get paid that much money, and he got a pretty fat contract, like my boy Kelvin there next to him, when you get paid that much money, you have to perform. And he was irrelevant. Not irrelevant, but not as relevant as he should have been. And same thing with Trent. When Trent was healthy and out there on the field, he looked like he had some serious go. I was a big fan of Trent when he was on the field, but again, they signed him. They took the risk. He's an injury guy. He's always injured. And last year, he played right into that role. So, we're going to see on those guys. We're going to see. But, in general, I think that the culture change is the biggest thing. Okay? Bringing in guys that agree, that are on the same page. drafting guys. I love the drafts. Harrison, obviously Terry Johnson, Tremaine, Josh Allen. It's been the biggest culture change the Bills organization has seen since I've been a Bills fan, and that's been 20 years now. So, in general, I think Bean's killing it, and better than that, even better than Bean is McDermott, Sean McDermott. I fucking love the man. I absolutely have a man crush on him, and I'm not one of these guys that just whatever the Bills are doing, whatever the Bills got going on, I'm woo. I'm all in. No, support them no matter what. I hated some of the Bills coaches. I hated Dick Geron. I hated Chan Gailey. Mike Mularkey, I was a fan of. I liked the trick plays and the creativeness he had. I was a fan of Greg Williams, but there's been some guys that I've absolutely despised. And when it's time to go, it's obvious that it's time to go. We've hung on to some guys longer than we had to. Rex Ryan, it was fun for about a month, and then Rex Ryan did what Rex Ryan did. I love Sean McDermott. Everything about him, the culture that he's bringing. You see those videos of him interacting with the players and how he's stern, but he also lets them know that it's a game and he wants them to go out there and have fun. Just everything in general seems like a stand-up dude. And what the Bills have done in these last 2 years has been nothing but incredible. Getting to the playoffs with that team 2 years ago with Tyrod Taylor as your quarterback was he should shoot way up in the power rankings for head coaches. He took this way below average team in the middle of a turnaround, in the middle of a complete culture change, and took them to the playoffs. Absolutely unbelievable. And last year, everybody knew that there was going to be a step back. Yeah, did he make some mistakes? Absolutely. McCarron, Peterman, it hurts. It hurts. I was rooting for Peterman. It hurt. It was a mistake. But you live and you learn. And McDermott seems like one of those guys that once he fucks up, once he makes that mistake, he learns from it. He does his due diligence, and he makes sure the same mistake doesn't happen again. And now we got our quarterback. And now we have our quarterback. We're going to build around him. This year, it's too soon to be making predictions. It's too soon. Obviously, there's so much going on, and we're going to dive into the combine and free agency tonight. But, sorry, I'm a little stuffy, guys. But I am fully prepared to make the playoffs next year. It's playoffs or bust next year already, because I know they're going to make moves. I know they're going to bring in a couple wide receivers, draft some guys. I know they're going to bring in O-linemen. I know they're going to add some depth to the defense that's already disgusting. I already know all this. So, and I trust these guys. I trust Beat. I trust McDermott to bring in the right pieces. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see who they're going to bring in and how they're going to go about this thing. But next year, I'm already calling it 2019, 2020. It's playoffs or bust. I'd like to fucking win a playoff game. I think it's very, very possible. And we'll know more, obviously, over the next month or so, next 2 months. But right now, I love the direction this team's going in. And fuck it. Let's go. Let's go. Bills, 2019, 2020. We're going to the fucking playoffs. Okay, Josh Allen's going to be a stud. He's another guy. Not to go off course here, but Allen's one of those guys. He's obviously a fucking learner. He's obviously one of these guys that he makes a mistake, he's going to fucking correct it. He looked like pretty average before he got hurt. What did he do? He studied his fucking balls off while he was hurt, came back out there, and everything was different. He started slinging the ball. He had way more pocket presence, started making more plays with his feet, started being more accurate with his deep ball. It's only going to get better. He's too smart. He's a great kid. He's got a great work ethic. We know that. We see that Kia, I think it was Kia or Hyundai, 8-minute video about Josh Allen and his California farm. I'm like, boy, if you guys haven't seen that, go to YouTube after you watch this. Go to YouTube and do Josh Allen car commercial. It's like 8 minutes of how much of a stud this kid is. We got our quarterback. 2019, 2020 is looking up. Let's dive in to how we're going to shape things up here. Let's talk combine, guys. Let's go. So much going on here. Obviously, it's the same as every year. There's so many ups and so many downs. Some player stocks go way, way up. Some player stocks go way, way down. And it's all a grain of salt. You know, it's some guys out there run these crazy 40s, and you're like, holy shit, you got to get them. You got to get them, right? And some guys run slow as fuck, but they have other skill sets that they make up for it with their lack of speed. To talk about these defenders in the combine, oh my God. We're going to dive into some of the Bills' needs. We're going to dive into the wide receivers, some of the O-linemen and whatnot, but to talk about these defenders that are out there, Montez Sweat, holy shit. These guys are all running 440s, 4.40s, 4.5s. It's crazy. They're all running wide receiver 40 times. And any team that drafts in the top 25, in the top 30, especially with these quarterbacks sneaking into to the mock drafts up top 10, everybody's reaping the benefits because this defensive class is disgusting, which is what scares me because the Bills at 9, oh my God, I'm gonna be terrified because it's like, what the hell do you do? What do you do there? What do you trade? Do you trade back and get a couple guys in the end of the first round, or get another second round? I don't know. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about it more, but the sky's the limit. I love being at 9, but to pick one guy at 9 with so much depth right behind it, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. Trading back, just talking about trading back makes me think about, and us Bills fans don't really talk about this much, but we have to remember that Doug, you son of a bitch, Whaley, before he left, his departure gift, he said, was, I traded back and we got you guys Tre'Davious White. You're welcome for the gift. You're welcome for the departure gift. Yeah, we love Tre'Davious. We love Tre'Day. Absolutely love him. But let's not forget who was taken with that fucking pick. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not one of these guys that's negative. Bear with me. We traded with the Chiefs. Chiefs drafted Patrick MVP Mahomes. I love Josh. I love Tre'Day. But Doug Whaley, you can kiss my ass. I know you're watching, Whaley. Kiss my fucking ass. So let's be hesitant on trading back, but we'll talk more later. One guy, I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid on this guy. I had to. Obviously, there's some things. I say obviously too much. I know. I gotta stop saying obviously. I keep hearing that from her. Stop saying obviously. And I repeat things too much too. I try to make everyone happy. Fuck them. I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm repeating myself, obviously, on DK Metcalf. How do you not? Yeah, his cone and the shuttle and all the agility stuff was too slow. But the fact of the matter is, he is a stud. I mean, he is a freak of nature. 6'3", and 228 pounds of pure muscle. They said his body fat percentage is 1.8. There's no way that's true. But it's got to be goddamn close. He is ripped. You put him on the outside, which is what the Bills are missing. Obviously, we got Foster. He's got the speed. But you put a guy like DK Metcalf in a Bills jersey, I'm so happy. I love you, DK. I want you so bad. I want you so bad. I love the guy. But, again, he's got the agility issues. You watch him do a comeback route, and I said this on the Blindsided podcast. You watch him do a comeback route, and he's like my grandmother trying to spin that thing in her walker. It's ugly. It's ugly. But he makes up for it in every single facet. Oh my God, I'm just picturing him running deep down the sideline, running a 4.33, and Allen just throwing him the ball 102 yards from the end zone. Bang! touchdown. I love him. I'd kiss him right now if I could. I'd picture DK Metcalf in a Bills jersey. You guys will lose your shit. We'll definitely be scared. If the Bills take him at 9, what's your guys' reaction? You tell me. My reaction is I'm terrified, but ecstatic. I'm sprouting a boner. As soon as they pick him, I go, oh God, oh no, Metcalf, don't be bad. Don't have your agility take over. And I looked out and I got a boner because I love the fella. I love him. Okay, but talking about trading back earlier, say we play conservative and we do the opposite of last year. Last year was a trade up. Get Josh, get Tremaine, which I liked, but we played a little bit different this year. Trade back, add some depth to our draft picks, although we already have quite a bit. And let's take a look at some other wide receivers. There's some good wide receivers out there. Okay? Yeah, I'm a stud. Okay, I came up I came up with all these pictures and the stats and all. I'm a stud. What I'm really saying is this took a fucking a shit ton of time. So give me some love, man. Give it a little like. Give it a little share. If this doesn't give you a share, I mean, goddamn. Let's dive in. Harbin. He looks good. He's like one of those guys where he doesn't really stand out too much, but he's got all the juice. He's got all the juice. He's got all the skill set to be a great player. He's kind of like an Odell when Odell got drafted. I don't mean to make that comparison because that's crazy, but not the fastest. This guy, Harbin's a little slower than Odell. Odell ran a 4.4, but he's just got the hands, man. He's physical, and he gets a ton of targets. Doesn't mind working the field at all. Okay, yeah. Then we got N'Keal Harry. He's a big boy. He's a big boy, but he's got some issues. There's the foot speed, the agility, the quickness, but boy, his catch radius. I mean, it's like a fucking trampoline. You stay in a trampoline up on its side, and that's what N'Keal can catch. You watch his highlights; it's disgusting. And they say I'm not a stud, but they say that he's got the best route running wheel in the combine. He could run the most and the best routes of all the wide receivers. Deebo Samuel, he's a smaller guy, a little bit on the smaller side height-wise, and obviously the problems that go with that. He's quick. He's aggressive. He's physical. He kind of reminds me of Zay Jones, a rich man Zay Jones. But these guys are all guys that I see having some juice. These guys are all guys that are going to go in the first couple rounds. Maybe a couple of them slide to the third. But they all have the potential. And to be honest, you and me, we don't know enough to call out who's going to be good. We can only guess. And here's my guess. Here's my guy. I got two of them right here down here in the bottom left. I love Hakeem Butler. I love him. I've been watching videos of him working with Kelvin Johnson. Can you imagine if he's 3/4 the player that Kelvin Johnson was? 6'5", 4'4", 40. 6'5", 4'4", 40. He's just a freak. He's a freak, and he's a guy that's comparable to Metcalf, but you might be able to get him in the late first, early second round. So you have somebody trade up with you, give up that 9 pick, and then you get a first and a second, or you get their first and maybe a third. So you can still get your wide receiver, you can still get Butler, and an extra pick in the second or third round. I love Butler. Man, picturing these guys in Bills jerseys excites me. Not so much Samuel, Harbin. I can see them being great players, but they don't have that wow factor. Butler, Harry, Metcalf, and this guy right here, Marquise Brown. He's injury prone. He's small. He's fucking. What is he? He's 5'9", $166. That's terrible for an NFL wide receiver. But you put some weight on, you hit the gym. We got a little Tyreek on our hands. He wasn't able to run the 40, work at the combine because he was injured. Red flag, sucks. Liz Frank, I think it was his foot, but which is not good. But, man, that's what the Bills are missing. The Bills are missing a short, just absolute burner. Just, you get him the ball, you hit him on a flat, and he just runs down the field. Or you hit him on a wide receiver screen, have him come through, wide receiver jet. Those gadget type plays where we had Isaiah McKenzie last year. McKenzie did the job, but it's Isaiah McKenzie. His ceiling's pretty low. You put somebody like Marquise Brown after some time, after he gains a little bit of weight, boy, that's attractive to me too. So, G-Show here. I'm in on Hakeem Butler. I love Marquise Brown. Butler and Brown are my two guys. Riley Ridley, he's exactly like his brother to me. He's exactly like Kelvin Ridley. Does he have that much potential? I don't know. I don't know if he does. I don't know. But I threw him on there because he's fucking Riley Ridley. I mean, his brother's Kelvin Ridley. So I'm excited for these wide receivers. I really think the Bills are going to grab. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills have two of these guys right here. That might be a stretch, but it wouldn't be crazy to me if they had two of these guys. If you throw Metcalf up there, two of the seven on the roster this year, and boy, we'd be fucking excited. We would be excited. Obviously, another aspect of our draft that we got to talk about is O-line. We're gonna dive into free agency and whatnot in a little bit here. And we're going to fill some holes there. There's no doubt about it. We have a ton of cap space. But for the time being, let's talk O-linemen that are available in the draft this year. And O-line's a position where I personally, and you guys too, you find out some info about the guys, and it's kind of a crapshoot. It happens so often that 4th, 5th, 6th rounders they turn out to be studs, like Matt Paradise of the Broncos. He was a 5th rounder. And we're going to talk about him in a little bit. But, these are the top guys in the draft this year. You got Cody Ford, Jonah Williams, Greg Little, Dalton Risner, and Juwan Taylor there from Florida. And it looks like a good class. Same thing. I wouldn't be upset if the Bills took one of these guys. Man, I don't know. I don't see the difference. And again, I'm not a coach. I don't know this shit. From my 20 years of being a football fan, I don't see much of a difference between Jonah Williams and Greg Little or Cody Ford and Dalton Risner. I don't see enough of a difference to take one of these guys at 9. Taking somebody at 9 when there's this much depth at wide receiver and O-line scares the hell out of me. If we're going to take somebody at 9 and not trade back, then we have to be confident that they're going to be an absolute Pro Bowler. You have to be, because there's so much depth in this draft. You guys let me know what you think. I want to know who you guys think we should take. I want to know. If you guys have more expertise on the logistics and the skill sets and all that, hit me. Inform us here at Blindsided Sports, Buffalo Bills with BS Sports, baby. Let us know. But right now, these are the top guys. And I'm shooting for a trade back. And we grab one of these guys later on. I'm okay with not getting Jonah Williams or Cody Ford. I'm okay with taking Greg Little in the 2nd round. I'm okay with that. But the only way that this is going to work, here I am repeating myself. The only way it's going to work to have these guys fill the holes is we got to kill it at free agency. And I know most people say you don't do it at free agency. You don't build teams in free agency. Repeating myself nonstop, obviously. You have to build up through the draft. And I strongly believe that's what we're doing. I loved our draft last year. And I think they're going to do a great job this year. But we got to get there. And first, before the draft, it's free agency. We got to fill some holes, okay? Obviously, this is a picture of some guys that are top free agents that I think we have a shot. Obviously, we're not going to get all 6 of these guys, or probably even 3 of them. We may have a chance to grab 1 or 2. And I'm a ginormous fan of all 6. Anthony Barr, I read a report the other day saying that the Bills have some serious interest in him. And in the past, it's been for the Bills. It's been well, if we spend the money on this guy, we're going to be strapped for cash. We could sign three huge free agents this year. We're not going to because I think Bean's smart and calculated, and he's not going to spend all this money that we have. He's looking long term. That's another reason why I love the guy. But I think we could easily drop some big money on a couple of these guys. And Anthony Barr, outside linebacker, would be fantastic. Roger Saffold, nearing the end of his career. He's still got a few good years left. Absolute vet. You bring him in, put him on the O-line. Same thing with Trent. Same thing with Trent Brown, but he's younger, and he's got. I'm not sure how much money, what the money difference is between the three of those guys. We got Saffold there, Trent Brown in the middle, and then on the bottom, far side for me, we got Darrell Williams, and that was another report I read that the Bills are going to be pursuing him hard, and of course they are because he's a fucking Panther, and we're the Buffalo Bill Panthers. That's our new team name is the Buffalo Panthers. Everybody from the Panthers comes over, and it hasn't always been good either. Star Latulele, fucking Tolbert, Fatso. It's like put me at running back. But he was good. Darrell Williams, he's had a good career up to this point. So I don't know what the price difference is between the three of them. Brown's probably going to be asking for the most. Super Bowl winning starting left tackle for Tom Brady. You got some pull. But I take either one of those guys. Golden Tate, somebody, obviously he's, I said it again. Golden Tate, he's a high name guy. I mean, everybody wants Golden Tate. Not everybody wants him, but everybody's talking about Golden Tate because everybody's seen his potential. Do I think he would fit on the Bills? Yeah, absolutely, because our wide receiver core is terrible. You throw Golden Tate out there, he's got another year or two left. You give him a 3-year contract? 3-year contract? I'd like a 2-year contract, maybe a 3-year with an option, last year option for the Bills. And I would be totally okay with it. You bring in a vet, you bring in somebody that's going to run good routes, that's going to make catches. Maybe he doesn't have the speed that he quite had back in the day, but it's bringing a different dynamic to the Bills roster. And we could use a veteran wide receiver. And maybe the free agent that I am most interested in, especially at running back, is Tevin Coleman. I haven't heard anything about the Bills being interested in him, but I really, really like Coleman. He had a little bit of history with injuries here and there, but he's got the speed, boy. He's got the speed, and I'd like to know how much he's asking for out there. I'd like to know what the market is for him, but I'm a big, big fan of Tevin Coleman. He's had to play behind Freeman. They've split time, so I think he's 26 years old, 25 or 26. His age is more like 23, 24 because he hasn't had to have a crazy workload in Atlanta. So I'm a big fan of Coleman. If they said that they were bringing Coleman in and we were able to sign him for a decent price, I would be pumped. But these are just some guys that are kind of like question marks, It might happen, it might not happen. There might be some interest, maybe not. I'm not really sure about it. There's just guys that I'd like to see, us take a look at. And I'm sure they are. I'm sure Bean's doing his due diligence. It's just 6 exciting names in areas that we could definitely use some help. But we got to move on to the big dog, okay? These are a few guys where the G show here, I'm making my picks. These are a few guys that I think the Bills need to sign. Need to sign. I trust what they do. I trust what Bean does. But if they come out here and they sign my guy, Matt Paradise, from the Broncos, it's a game changer. You bring in a Super Bowl winning, Pro Bowler, captain of the Denver Broncos, in his prime at 28 years old, number 2 ranked center for Pro Football Focus in 2018 until he was hurt. He's got the injury. He had the leg injury there. But you bring him in, snapping the ball to Josh Allen, an absolute Game changer. I've heard this many times. If you can have a couple O linemen that slack, you can have a couple guys that don't have all the skill, but if you bring in 2 or 3 guys that are very, very good, they can easily pick up the slack for the guys that don't have it yet. They're still working. They're still young. They're still working on their fundamentals. They don't have it yet. You bring in Paradise and you put him dead center of the old line and have him working with Allen. I'm excited. And I've heard, like we all have, that the Bills are interested, and they're gonna probably be paying top dollar. I'm thinking 10 to 12 mil a year if they want to get him. But he seems like the kind of dude that he seems like a Buffalo dude. He just seems he's got the look. You throw that dude in the Bills jersey, you're saying, yeah, that's about right. He's a Buffalo fucking Bill right there. We need it. We need Paradise bad. We need him bad. It's just he's the perfect fit for everything we need. I say we give him at least $1 to $2 million more than any other team offers to bring him in. It's a game changer. Brandon Bean, listen to your boy here. I'll be assistant GM if you want. I'm open. I'm open for that. Draft Matt Paradise. Don't mess this up. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit surprising for you guys, but it's something we need. We're sticking with the O lineman, wide receiver categories this podcast here, because obviously those are our 2 biggest needs. We have some others. We got to shore up some of the defensive side, especially with Kyle being gone. A little bit of the secondary. Is Levi Wallace going to be the guy across from Tre'Davious? We don't know yet. A little bit of outside linebacker help. Lorenzo Alexander's getting old as shit. I love the guy, but he's old as fuck. But we're sticking with the wide receiver O-line. And one guy I think is a sneak, as a surprise wide receiver this year. I think he's going to get paid because he's got the tangibles. But one guy I think the Bills got to go after is Tyrell Williams, okay? He's 6'4", 205, and he's got the speed juice. We've all seen it. We've all seen Philly Rivers slinging him down the field to Tyrell Williams. The problem is the inconsistency. Now, is that inconsistency because it's Phillip Rivers and he slings the ball all over the place? Or is it an issue that Tyrell Williams has? I'm not sure. What I am sure is a 6'4", 205-pound free agent wide receiver coming into Buffalo to give another weapon to Josh Allen. I love the tall guys. The tall guys with speed, I love it. It's taller. If you're 6 foot, 210 pounds, I'm not into you. If you're 5'7" and you weigh fucking 96 pounds, but you run a 4.22 40, I want you in Buffalo. And if you're 6'4", 205 pounds, and you're running down the field and Philly Rivers is with his shitty arm, his flabby arm, he's accurate, I know, but he's got no power behind that thing. And Phillip Rivers is hitting you down the field in stride for a TD. It's a pretty picture, boy. It's a pretty picture. Tyrell, come on to Buffalo, baby. I love you. I would love to see a player like Tyrell in Buffalo. Okay, we're moving on. We got another offensive piece here. Another surprise. This is another sneak. This is another sneak attack. I think we could bring him in, get him for cheap, and the Bills have shown that they're not afraid to sign guys that have an injury past. Trent Murphy. Yikes. But one guy I think can turn it around, and he's still got time. And now that we got Charles Clay gone, is my guy Tyler Eifert. Okay, you watch the highlight films, the clips of Eifert before he started getting hurt. Sick, 6'6", 255. He's still 28. This is a guy that had so much potential, so much. I mean, he at one point they were talking who's a better tight end between him, Gronk. I mean, all those guys were in the Hernandez. Wow, we'll talk about that on another day. But he was up there with all those guys. He was top class tight end, and then he started getting hurt. And not to mention, Cincinnati's a really shitty run organization. I mean, the fact that Marvin Lewis is still was the head coach up until this. until this year. It's just ridiculous. But his clips are disgusting. His clips are absolutely insane. We're going to take a peek real quick. Look at this. We're pulling video. We're pulling video here at Blindsided Sports Buffalo Bills coverage. I love Eifert. Like I said, 6'6", 255. And if you watch some of these highlights, and he could ball. He could ball. He's got a huge catch radius. He's a good route runner. He's got the work ethic. Can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? That's the big question. I think he can, but again, I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm not one of the trainers. I don't know. Maybe he has a hard time passing physicals. Maybe he's on the verge of retiring because of all the injuries. All I know is he's not retired now. He's a free agent. And the Bills have shown that they could be. They don't mind being that team that'll take the risk on an injury guy. They don't mind that one bit. So, Taylor Eifert, I'm all in. I love these highlight reels. I could sit here and watch them all day, especially if they say the Bills are bringing them in. I love you. Let's talk dates here. What do we got? I think March 14th, free agency opens. What do you guys think about Antonio Brown? That's what I want to know. Where do you guys think Antonio Brown's going? We're putting this video out Friday, so they said that the deal was going to be done Friday, and I hear there's not many people that are interested. All I keep hearing is that these teams keep dropping out. So I don't know. Obviously, the Bills are a long shot. I think I saw fucking 2001 odds or something like. It was crazy, or not 2000, but it was not good. It'll be interesting to see where he goes, but I'm all in on the Eifert trade. If you guys are still watching this, I fucking appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sticking around. My goal for this whole year, for the foreseeable future, is to spit out some Bills content that's actually, it's different from the John Murphy. I mean, up Buffalo's ass. It's so biased. It's so homey. Everything. He's such a homer, and I can appreciate it. I like Murphy. I like those shows, but I'm looking for more real shit. That's what I'm trying to spit out to you guys. So if you have any suggestions, any advice, any opinions, any questions, shoot me a comment, shoot me a message. I'm gonna keep doing these weekly videos, okay? And as things go on, as we sign free agents, we're bringing guys in. I'm gonna keep shit coming to you guys. I want to break some news. We'll break down the signings and whatnot. We'll dive into it. So give us a like on Facebook. Give us a share on YouTube. And truly appreciate it, guys. Truly appreciate it. Stay tuned for more.